What is up, guys? Welcome back to another day of Reactmas. We're on day number 4 already, and today we're watching 10 shocking UK food scandals. Listen, I love me a good scandal every now and again, alright? Well, when it comes to my food, I don't want any scandals. I want to know exactly what's going on. You know, I say that when I just be eating stuff, honestly. If I really, took a deep dive into how, 90% of the food I ate was made, I'd probably never eat again. But damn it, you're not taking my chicken from me. I don't care how bad it is. Chicken's chicken. I don't care. But we're about to get into it. Of course, all I want from y'all this Reactmas. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Drop a like for more reactions like this. Drop a like for Reactmas if y'all are enjoying it so far. Let's get into it.
But no one is testing for traces of other species such as cat, rat, or dog.
Welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and today we're looking at the biggest food and fast food scandals to hit Britain.
There are now 273 confirmed cases in the UK, 17 new cases today.
KFC runs out of chicken. Back in 2018, the nation was blighted by a lack of bargain buckets at KFC. Hundreds of branches up and down the country were struck by a shortage of chicken, all because KFC had changed its delivery company to DHL.
The chicken shortage, which has forced KFC to close hundreds of its outlets in the UK.
Nah, not KFC, bruh. No, that is in my blood. I'm a Kentuckian. When you're born here in Kentucky, you pop out, they give you a name, and then they give you a freaking chicken thigh from KFC. That's just how it works. They had one job, Kentucky Fried Chicken. You gotta have the C to do the KF part, you know? How the hell you run out of chicken?
Our next story.
DHL just couldn't handle the complex logistics of delivering chicken to KFCs up and down the country from one warehouse. Eventually, the chain had to revert to its old firm.
And the contract changed last week. They had months to plan for it. And the chicken is stuck in the warehouse.
Thankfully, nobody
They just had to start sending people out and just catching wild chickens.
died as a result of the chicken shortage, because all human beings can go more than 1 week without fried chicken. But it was
I don't know about all that now. A whole week without chicken? Yeah, that's asking a little too much.
still a major, if bizarre, issue at the time.
Well, I get a
that is crazy.
for coming down because I've had to go to Burger King.
1990.
Oh, God forbid. She had to go to Burger King instead of getting her fried chicken. But, that's like an ice cream shop running out of ice cream. We're here for one thing, and you ain't got it, so...
26 E. coli outbreak. This is still
I don't think that's a scandal. I think that's a very, very bad thing.
still the deadliest outbreak of E. coli the UK has ever seen.
Oh my
leading to
gosh.
21 deaths in 1996.
Dang.
Nearly 500 people across Scotland were affected, because a butcher, John Barr, wasn't registered properly, and therefore not inspected.
Wait, one guy caused an entire E. coli outbreak? What the heck? How are you a butcher and not registered? Are you just chopping up meat in your backyard? What's going on?
Investigators also said that Barr continually lied to them while the source of the outbreak was being investigated, which meant more contaminated meat was sold and more people were affected. It was largely the elderly who died from the illness, with many families in Lanarkshire struck by the tragedy.
Wow.
All because existing regulations weren't followed. The only silver lining is that the UK has had no other E. coli outbreak this deadly in the years since.
Probably because people stopped freaking buying meat from some dude on the freaking corner selling it out the trunk of his car. That's messed up. There's a lot of people you just kind of have blind trust in, and a butcher is one of those guys. But dude, I would lose all trust in every single butcher after that. You couldn't trust them.
Rotten pork. Multiple supermarkets and fast food chains were affected by this issue in early 2023, when a supplier was able to sell rotten pork to them. The supplier was never named, but outlet Farmers Weekly, which conducted the investigation, said that until 2020, a, quote, top food manufacturer had been flogging rotten meat. The issue was so widespread that there's a good chance you may have eaten rotten meat if you lived in the UK at the time and weren't a vegetarian. Luckily, it does.
No! Oh, okay, they just popped right back on. I was like, dang. Not my glasses. You're telling me they were selling rotting pork? That's disgusting. That is so bad.
Doesn't seem like any disease outbreak happened as a result of this. The chaos over Brexit and the pandemic has been blamed by some on standards being briefly relaxed, though the FSA now wants even tighter regulations.
Bro.
Food waste. Each year, hundreds of thousands of tons of food are sent to landfill in the UK by major supermarkets.
This is not food that the supermarket simply didn't manage to sell in time. In fact, this is food that didn't make it onto the shelves in the first place.
Investigations have shown time and time again that supermarkets just aren't doing enough to combat this problem, which is a major environmental issue. In 2021, less than 9% of supermarkets' extra food was donated to food banks, at a time when the public is becoming more and more reliant on them.
That's terrible, because like it'd be so easy for especially all these bigger supermarkets and stuff to just simply have a donation bin where all the stuff that, you know, it might go bad in the next week or whatever and you can't sell it, you can't put it on the shelves. You can just donate it to people that they're not going to care if it expired yesterday. They're freaking hungry, and like it's still pretty much perfectly good food, especially like canned food and stuff like that. Just stop wasting food. I hate that. I hate when people waste food.
We believe that is just over 1% of the in-date, fit for human consumption food that could be passed to organisations like us and be fed to people in need.
We could be feeding millions of people each year.
Millions.
More and more otherwise going hungry during the cost of living crisis.
Wow.
Instead, all this food, much of it still good to eat, is being thrown away and left to rot.
That's terrible.
Shortages.
That's so bad.
While in many ways, UK supermarkets have such an abundance of food that they send it to landfill, in others, they're not able to keep stock on the shelves.
But campaigners say money is being lost in overly complex supply chains where too many people take a slice along the way.
It seems that nowadays there are constant shortages of vital products, including meat, fruit and vegetables. A lot of people have blamed Brexit for this, with international trading becoming harder following the UK's departure from the EU, though others have pointed out that shortages happened before Brexit too.
See, that makes sense though, especially if you have to get a lot of your stuff from like different countries. Like here in America, there's so many different farms and farmers, and we get so much of our stuff from places here in America where we don't have to like outsource it to other countries or whatever. But like somewhere in the UK where like a lot of your stuff is coming from different countries, I can see how shortages would be like very common and actually like a really big deal trying to get more in.
Part of the problem there is that it's quite a fragmented industry and it isn't able to command the price that it needs to be able to continue to produce. And that's why...
But the UK's policy on supermarkets and food contracts have also been blamed, as it can be difficult for supermarkets to change suppliers to get what they need.
One of the benefits of Brexit was supposed to be cheaper food, and yet here we are.
Whatever the cause, it doesn't look like there's going to be a solution anytime soon.
Yeah, that one's tricky.
Pret-a-manger allergies.
Every time you choose food,
what?
Publicly available, commercially available, you are making a life or death decision.
Absolutely.
I think that's one of the things that this story has highlighted for people.
In
a what? I've never heard of that before in my life.
2016, a 15-year-old girl very tragically passed away after eating a sandwich from Pret-a-manger containing ingredients she was allergic to. The girl, Natasha, had many severe allergies, and her parents meticulously checked the packaging of the baguette before she ate it, but it contained an allergen that wasn't listed on the packet, which led to her death from anaphylaxis.
So what's a Pret-a-manger? What is that? I've never even heard of that before. Is that like a company or like a certain like type of food? I've literally never heard of that.
There was information on this wrapper. There was information, but confusing information.
Right. Her parents campaigned for years to have a new law introduced, and in 2021 it was, requiring all fresh food made on a shop or restaurant's premises to have a full ingredient list.
But Pret don't claim that there was any mention of sesame either on the label or on the sticker. The point is,
that makes sense. It was like kind of like a fresh item or like an item from like a little shop or something that didn't have a full-on like ingredients list like with everything that's in there. Yeah, no, that's a problem. That is a problem.
Hopefully, an avoidable tragedy like this won't happen again.
Yeah, that's very avoidable.
Foot and mouth outbreak.
There's growing opposition in the parts of the country worst affected by foot and mouth disease to the new government plans for mass slaughter of healthy animals.
The UK has had many outbreaks of foot and mouth disease over the years, notably in 1967 and 2007.
Wait, you can get foot and mouth from animals? I did not know that. What the heck?
But those outbreaks were both small compared to the devastating contagion that spread through the country's livestock in 2001.
I don't like any of this, but I recognise that we have to eradicate the disease, and this means hard measures.
There were 2,000 reported cases of the disease, but foot and mouth has to be contained by widespread culling, which led to the slaughter of 6 million animals.
Oh, that's ridiculous. That's a shortage right there, cheese and rice. I've heard of foot and mouth, of course, but like, for some reason, I always thought that was like a disease like young babies get and like infants get. I don't know why, but that's just what I've always thought of. It never even crossed my mind that maybe animals could get it and you could get it from eating the animals. Like, that's crazy.
The crisis was so serious that it affected not just the UK's food and agricultural industries, but also tourism, because so much of the countryside was locked off to contain the disease's spread.
When infections have been discovered, it's taking several days to deal with it, to slaughter herds, to dispose of the bodies.
You may remember seeing the horrific images of livestock burning on television at the time.
Burning?
Bernard Matthews.
I spent most of my life turkey farming up here in Norfolk. I'm Bernard Matthews, and this little booty is the Matthews 1 1/4 pound turkey roast.
This poultry producer became the epicenter of a bird flu outbreak in 2007.
Oh my god! Oh, Bernard, what are you doing? Imagine being the one guy, just the one guy known for like, hey, he spread bird flu throughout the entire country. Like, gosh.
Specifically, it was the H5N1 strain of influenza, which was one of the rare types of avian flu that can affect humans. In some cases, severely. More culling was undertaken to prevent it from spreading to other farms, since wild birds can easily spread bird flu between flocks.
Yeah.
It turned out that the outbreak was largely because of regulations not being followed.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean the virus can spread between people, at least not yet.
No humans contracted bird flu in this incident.
Well, that's
but
good.
The damage to the company's reputation was severe.
Oh, I bet. I mean, I'd never buy another bird from them. Jeez.
Tens of millions of pounds.
Wow.
Even today, it's hard to hear the name Bernard Matthews without thinking of bird flu.
Yeah, no, that dude, that's going to be... Anytime anybody ever says Bernard Matthew, the next words out of their mouth is going to be something to do with bird flu.
Horse meat.
British firms have been told to test all their processed beef products for traces of horse meat or pork within a week.
Okay, I take it back. Except horses, okay? We're not eating horses. Or cats or dogs or anything like that, alright? Horse meat. Bro, what?
In many parts of the world, eating horse meat isn't taboo at all. Not so in the UK, which was hit hard by the 2013 horse meat scandal that affected all of Europe.
Is it a normal thing? I don't think I've ever heard of anybody eating a horse. No, I've never heard of it. That's a normal thing in places?
Though large numbers of people were appalled at the idea of eating horse in the first place, the real issue was that the supply chain had clearly fallen apart, as the horse meat hadn't been declared. It was safe to eat, thankfully, but it should never have been in the products it was found in, notably beef lasagnas and burgers sold by Tesco and Findus.
What? So they were selling burgers that, like, supposed to come from cows, but they had horse meat in them? Nah, bro. That's no. If I eat a burger, it needs to be cow. That's it. No horses. All right, none of that. You can't put fillers in those, you know?
Carried out in Ireland, found horse DNA in a number of big brand name beef products. One, a Tesco value beef burger, contained as much as 29% horse meat.
Another issue was that many...
Bro. Like, I get it. It's already sketchy. Like, I've bought and ate some of those frozen, pre-pattied value burgers, and they're already sketchy. Like, for the most part, you're like, okay, this is probably like a bunch of plastic. This is definitely not 100% cow. But never once did it cross my mind that, hey, there might be some horse in here.
Of the beef samples tested also contained pork, which would make them unfit for certain demographics to eat at all.
Findus built a
like, I guess I wouldn't be that mad if there was pork in it. But, like, some people are, like, very allergic to pork, or is it, like, against their religion to eat pork? So, like, me personally, I wouldn't be that mad. Like, I'd still be pretty mad because I'm eating a burger. There shouldn't be pork in it at all. Come on, guys. If I buy a burger, I expect it to be cow, all right?
brand over generations, and it will take a long time to win back consumer confidence.
Yeah.
This scandal will do great damage to the meat processing industry as a whole.
Mad cow disease. In the mid-1980s, a previously unknown disease began appearing in cattle in the UK with a 100% mortality rate, diagnosed as BSE 2 years later. This went on for a decade before it became clear that the disease was able to affect humans, with contaminated meat being given not only to people, but also to zoos and other farms across the country.
Isn't there like a a cure for mad cow disease now. Like, I remember this being like a really big thing, but I don't remember. I remember hearing stories and stuff. I think it was before I was even born. And I thought I heard there's like a cure or something, or like it's very, very hard for them to get it now. I don't know. Y'all let me know.
Because of the long period of inaction, the disease was able to spread around the world, and it was only after a long culling effort was undertaken that it was able to get under control.
Wow.
Over 4 million animals were slaughtered in the UK, and hundreds of people around the world have died as a result.
Wow.
Let us know in the comments which foods you have been put off for life.
Especially horse meat. I'm gonna go with horse meat. But alright guys, that is going to do it for the top 10 shocking UK food scandals. Dude, some of those were bad. Old Bernard, he'll never live it down, alright? But y'all let me know what y'all thought down in the comments. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Drop a like for Reactmas. This is day number 4. But y'all let me know if y'all are enjoying Reactmas so far. We got some very fun videos planned here in the future, so y'all just stay tuned. Thank y'all so much for watching. Make sure y'all go out today. Spread love, spread kindness. Don't spread mad cow disease or bird flu or horse meat, alright? I love you guys so much. I really do. JTReacts, I'm out. Peace.